In Mechabellum, you have two towers to protect, the Command and Research Center. In this video, I'll explain their abilities. If you find this helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and share Uncomfortable Game Shorts. I'll have more tips and guides linked at the end. Both towers can be fortified, which increases health substantially and reduces the debuff you get from having them destroyed. This can be helpful if you're playing aggressively off one tower and mostly ignoring the other. One or two levels should be sufficient in most cases. The Command Center buffs are not permanent, they act for one round only. First, Rapid Resupply, which immediately loans you 200 supplies, but you'll get 300 fewer on the next round. Don't forget that your income increases by 200 supplies each round, so Rapid Resupply will ultimately net you minus 100 supplies on the following round. Using it early might catch your enemy off guard, but it can be risky. I often activated it when someone was near death or around the 7th round, since most matches average about 10. But check the math, gains diminish, so the longer the game goes, the heavier the risk from borrowing over and over like this. Mass recruitment is rather cheap and lets you buy one more deployment that round. If you already picked a card which gives you an extra deployment, this will add another one on top of that. You might think flooding the board with more units is an OP strategy, but more units spread XP growth, meaning a smaller, more concentrated enemy might start out leveling you. Elite recruitment will increase the level of your deployments by 1. This also works for cards which already buff the level and even elite specialists, allowing them to recruit level 3 units, which will also increase the cost, adding half the cost of the unit per level, so plan ahead to avoid running out of supplies. The final Command Center buffs are Enhanced Range, which adds 15 meters to your ranged attacks, and High Mobility, which increases movement speed by 3 meters a second. These seem obvious, but here's something you may not know. Look at the Sabertooth, for example. The range upgrade only increases the range of their basic attack and does nothing for other tech upgrades like secondary armament or missile interceptors. However, getting enhanced range from the tower will buff all 3 upgrades. As for High Mobility, if the enemy severely outranges you, getting speed can help you close the gap sooner or to target critical units that would otherwise be protected by chaff like crawlers if you moved at regular speed. It can also turn fast movers like crawlers and rhinos into race cars that can literally slip past slow moving units. The Research Center buffs are permanent and last for the duration of the game. They are Sticky Oil Bombs, which drops slowing oil on a straight path and lasts for 2 rounds. This can be useful versus an aggressive enemy pushing right up against your border. Shields can prevent them from leaving the oil trail, and any flame-based attack from units or incendiary bombs, for example, will leave a burning patch, damaging units in the flames. Field Recovery allows you to sell a deployment each round, and if they're holding an item, you'll get that back too. Consider selling if something's been hard countered. If they keep getting hacked or killed, the enemy will keep growing from the XP you're feeding them. Mobile Beacon lets you draw a movement path for your units. The starting circle will determine where the units end up at the end of the path. For example, if I grab these units near the right edge of the circle, they'll stop at the right edge where the beacon path ends. If enemies are on the path, your units will stop and attack as normal, but if the path is clear, you'll race right past while attacking enemies in range. Look for opportunities to snipe the enemy tower, pick off important units, or save your own units from rushing to their slaughter. Finally, attack and defense enhancements have a level 1 and more expensive level 2. These buffs gain value as you get more and more units on the battlefield, so start thinking about these upgrades after, say, the 4th round. Check the links in the description below for some useful Mechabellum sites and content creators, and while you're there, sub and share my underrated content. I have other guides and reviews you'll love here.